Hello, how are you? Good morning. Okay, we're good to go. Hey, good morning. I know I said I was gonna post every day now, but I had a few days of a lackluster kind of stuff, whatever that means, so I have time now. I said the last video about different kind of philosophy of, let's say, dieting, sleep, all that kind of stuff. You can check it out yourself. Today I want to talk about dieting. I have a very objective point of view when it comes to food, because people, what they do is they often associate food with good time, good stuff, all of that, which is fine. You know, it actually is pretty good because you want to enjoy yourself when you eat food. But I think there needs to be a balance, a very, very strong balance. This is common sense. There should be a balance, but not the kind of balance of eat good food, enjoy the other food. That balance, although it is good and you can follow along with that, I do something a little different. I see food as more of a source of energy rather than a source of enjoyment. That's how I view food. So I've broken it down like this. I'm gonna put this to the side right now because I just want to freestyle, and then I'll look back to the notes to see where I'm at. Also, these are the Alchemy pants. Pants of Alchemy is what they're called. If you want to order them yourself, just give me an email or DM me, link in the description. Now back to the point. Got it. So the macronutrients, they're divided into 3 sections: protein, carbs, and fats. That's as basic as it can get. Protein, to make this part simple, is recovery. The entire idea is recovery, either to recover from pain or recover from an injury that you've gone through, or to elevate yourself, or I should say, you've done a workout and you're recovering from the workout. You're helping your muscles recover from the workout. Those two are the only functions for protein. I only use recovery to just simplify a lot more. And also, if you eat a lot of protein, or if you eat the right amount of protein, when you're injured, your body heals a lot quicker as well. From my experience, at least, that's what I've experienced. That's the basics of protein. Now for carbs is a lot more simple. It's purely just energy. Purely energy from your physical and mental standpoints. That's that point. And then also fats is hormones, or I should say fats is function. Now with these 3 in mind, I didn't even specify what function even means. With fats, it's more of a 2 factors: hormones and testosterone. When you prioritize fats, you feel good. When you prioritize carbs, you are good. You can perform well. When you prioritize protein, you look good. I think that's the best way to explain it. You feel good, you perform well, and you look good. Fats, feel good. Yeah, I already said that 3 times already. I shouldn't say that again. So that's the basics of them all. And then you get to the other stuff like saturated fats, or high amounts of sodium, or all these kinds of stuff that you can consider when it comes to dieting, or when it comes to your daily intake of food. But it should not be that complex. It should be very, very simple for food. So the way I think of it as, my philosophy is, I'm only going to consume what I need to consume in order to produce the way I need to produce for a certain day. If I have an off day, if I'm not doing anything on that day, maybe I could eat a certain amount of things. But that goes on to a different topic about off days that I will speak about in a bit, but I want to lean towards more of what you should do on a day-to-day basis. At least what I do on a day-to-day basis. I see food as fuel, not just fuel for looking good or being good or whatever it is, but fuel for every activity of the day. So let's just say, let me take a step back for a moment. My diet's like this. I eat 1 gram of protein per body weight. Cool, straightforward, everyone says this. Carbs, I only eat enough to where I feel good. I don't eat anything more, anything less of what I actually need. And then fats, I put it within my protein and my carbs. That's my diet. Now I get my protein from beef, I get my carbs from rice, banana, bread, that kind of stuff. And I get my fats between olive oil or even avocados as well. It's a different source, but I also put it with my food. So I get these things from very simple ingredients. that's where I think people, or where I know for a fact people mess up on, is that they try to get these sources of protein, fats, carbs from different foods and no, just that's it, from different foods, that becomes so complex of the amount of stuff that you eat. And I'm pretty sure that you do that as well at times, where let's say you want to get a protein bar, or you want to get a salad from, I don't even know, Denny's or whatever it is. You consider to yourself, oh, this thing has X amount of protein, or this thing has whatever levels of food that I need, so it must be good. And it can be good. And if you want to do that, by all means, that's fine. I wouldn't recommend that, because I've only focused on getting my nutrients from a singular source. If I want to get carbs, I get something that's purely just carbs. Rice, potatoes. These things do have different vitamins with different macronutrients as well. But the ones that prioritize carbs, protein, or fats, as I just said, rice, avocados, these foods that don't have so much within them, just a purely simple form of food. That's how I see it. So when I say my diet is beef, rice, also spinach, I didn't mention spinach. Beef, rice, and spinach. Spinach, magnesium. Rice is for carbs, and the beef is for protein. You could do chicken as well. I prefer beef just purely because it's easier for me to eat. I enjoy beef. I love beef. Chicken is good. This chicken takes way too long, and I don't have that much time throughout my day to just chew and gnaw on chicken all day long. If that's your thing, don't let me ick your yum. Oh god. Anyways, back to the point. So I just rambled about all this stuff. With that out the way, I want to make this part simple. The stuff you should prioritize and the stuff that you shouldn't really care for. I'm going to start with the stuff you shouldn't really care for, because I believe that's the most simplest part. Anything that's more complex than what it should be, just don't even think about it. I'll give you an example. Let's say okay, very, very good example, kind of bad example, good example. I had a point in my life where I wanted to prioritize a lot of protein. So what I would do is I would go to Costco. I had 2 points where I go to Costco. The first point when I was younger is I had to get the rotisserie chicken. That one had a lot of protein, and it's a big old chicken for $5 only. It's a perfect amount of food. The problem with that, I forget what they make the chicken with, or how they curate the chicken. I don't know the right word to use. I should probably search that up. But the problem with that is that the chicken itself is not pure. It has other chemicals inside that counteracts your entire ability to perform. You may feel good at that moment, but then as time progresses, those bad chemicals, those bad ingredients are gonna catch up with you in one way or another. It could be physical, could be mental, or could be emotional. That's why I say to keep it simple, because these factors, they mess with those three: the mentality, emotional stability, and mental stability. And it could be spiritual stuff as well. I do believe that there are some spiritual side of it as well, but I don't know much about it. I just know that when those three are messed up, it just already affects the spirituality side of stuff. So I keep it that simple, but there may be more. That's besides the point. So that's the first part of my life, and the second part was eating Costco pizza and chicken bakes, all this kind of stuff. That's already straightforward bad, because there's a lot of trans fat, all that bad stuff that's already within the food. But purely or solely on the base of the chicken, of the rotisserie chicken that was $5, on paper that's amazing. This big old chicken, you're gonna eat all of that, that's phenomenal. But at the same time, that's not healthy, because the chicken is not pure, the chicken is not natural, the chicken is not, in itself, the chicken isn't simple. That becomes a big problem. Cool, with that out the way, how do I, let's just say with that diet, I'm getting a rotisserie chicken, how do I alter that diet for it to be similar, but without it having all these other stuff that affects me mentally, socially, mentally, emotionally, or physically? There's two options. One, find a cleaner source. could be a different store, could be making it yourself. I always recommend making stuff yourself. I don't know what these companies put into their food. I have no idea. I do not care what they put into their stuff. I take that back. I care so much about what they put into their stuff that I, a lot of the times, only see when I go to a Chipotle or when I go to a Panda Express or even when I go to a Costco. I only see those moments of oh, you know what? Fuck it, I feel pretty good. I might as well eat something. That's how I view these kinds of places. That means to me, at least, that these places are not to be trusted with their food. I recommend you to cook yourself because you can see what exactly goes on with your own food. Now, sure, you can make the argument that, oh, they've already messed my meat up, pause. They've already messed my meat up beforehand because they injected it with fucking pesticides or whatever hell they put. I don't even know if that makes sense. They've already messed up my meat beforehand, pause. So the food's already bad no matter what. And you could argue that. I don't have any basis against that. But I would urge you to ignore that, because then we get we go back to the idea of feeling when you make your own stuff. I'm not talking about, oh, I've made my own stuff, look at me, I feel amazing. Fuck that. Who the hell cares about that? I don't care about that. I genuinely do not care about the idea of being prideful for the actions that you take, because even though it's good, and even though you should reward yourself for taking such action, these actions should just come naturally. But that's gonna be within time. I'm not saying this to shame you. I'm not saying this to say it's bad that you are not used to being disciplined or whatever it is, because that takes time. But eventually, when you get to a point where you've been doing stuff already, you've already been disciplined to do stuff already, the idea of, oh, what's it called? I feel prideful for doing X, Y, Z, that idea goes away because it's already natural to who you are. It's already who you are. But that's later. That's another topic. Back to what I was saying of cooking for yourself. You get to see what goes on, and you get to control what goes on as well. That's a very important factor of how you eat. So with my beef, I only make it simple: salt, pepper, garlic, and an extra seasoning. Could be Italian seasoning, could be barbecue rub, whatever it is that I'm feeling at that moment. And then rice, that's it. Spinach as well. Spinach for me is magnesium. I primarily do it for magnesium, for muscle repair. I take repair of my body super serious, and I think that's what you should do too. To summarize that, last video I said sexual health is a very, very important thing to consider. I'm going to reframe the words. Hormones. Prioritize your hormones strongly, because that what makes you who you are. Aesthetics, performance, these two things, although really, really good, hormones is your number one thing to keep you going no matter what. So what I prioritize myself is I prioritize recovery, mental stability, and that's pretty much it. Enough energy. Not too much, not too little. Recovery, mental stability, and performance. Yeah, I'll put it like that. So with those three in mind, as I said previously about off days, or stuff to what to eat on the days that you think to yourself, oh, I could cheat a little bit. A lot of people, what they do is they eat junk food, and I eat junk food too at times. I am not a saint when it comes to that. But one thing I do want to make very, very clear for this part at least, is that if you can, if you genuinely can, I would highly, highly urge you and highly recommend for you to learn how to take your off days serious. And it's hard for me to tell you that, because your off day is your off day, and to make your off day a version of a work day is a little bit of a pain in the ass. But stick with me with this one. Your off days is what makes the entire week. Let's just say you have one off day a week. For me, I only have one off day a week. Let's just say you only have one off day a week. that one off day is a preparation for every single day. For example, for me, my off days is either two things. Either one, fasting, or two, either one, fasting, or two, fruits. Only fruits. What I do is fruits and honey. And it's preparation for the entire week. Because I need my muscles to repair. I need my body to repair. I need my entire physique to recover, my mind to recover, sleep as well. That's a different topic, but I'll get back to that. So I would take your off days very serious, especially when it comes to dieting. You can enjoy a Big Mac, you can enjoy a McDonald's, Burger King, or a fast food, or pizza, whatever it is. You can enjoy yourself in that aspect for your off day. That's no problem. But if you can understand what your off day is and how to prepare for it for the entire week, because all it takes is one good day to have a good week, and all it takes also is one bad day to have a terrible week as well. So you want to take this part into consideration when it comes to dieting specifically. That's pretty much it. Hope that helps. Very last thing that I want to talk about. How much time do I have? Not that much time, but I want to make this part clear. Two more aspects is I want to talk about two different versions of people. The younger side of people and the older side of people. The older side, I think that's a lot more simple. Or sorry, actually no, I should probably say younger side is a lot more simple. If you're younger, let's just say you're dependent on parents, or let's just say you can't afford a good diet right now, because dieting does take a bit of money. One thing I recommend: do not spend more than $50 a week. Never spend more than $50 a week when it comes to dieting. That is, I don't know, per day. What's 50 divided by 7? That is 7. I just fucked up my math. Actually, no, that's correct. 720, 740, something like that. Regardless, I lost track of thought. Never spend more than $50 a week, depending on the area. Because I'm speaking this from a privileged place, from a very privileged place. I'm in Los Angeles, and I could go to Costco and get a 60-pound tube, or not 60-pound tube, whoa, a 10-pound tube for $60. That could last me about a week and a half, 2 weeks even. But the thing is that you don't want to spend that much, because dieting should not be that difficult. Dieting should not be that hard. It should not be that pretentious. It should not be that tedious of a task. As simple as that when it comes to dieting. The second aspect is timing when you're young. I do think you should prioritize dieting as young as possible, just for your body to grow and repair as much as it can. But also, it's difficult for me to tell you that, because you're very dependent on there is a beautiful dog there. It's a very nice guy too. Awesome. You're very dependent on family, or a guardian, or someone that's protecting you at that moment. So it's difficult for me to really advise you this stuff when you have that kind of protection over you. I'm sure it comes from a good place. Parents, whenever they feed you, whatever they feed you, it comes from a good place. I'm sure of it, or majority of it. And if not, reach out to me. I'm sure we could figure something out. Whatever that means, I don't even know what that means. That sounded weird. What I meant to say was, figure it out as in I can help you within your path. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, one thing I would advise you to do and recommend you to do is be patient. Be as patient as possible, because if you already have this in mind, this kind of lifestyle in mind, you'll be okay, but be patient with that. Be patient with your acceleration, with your speed, because you will get to that point one day, but to get to that point, you need to learn these foundations, these building stones, to make the top of where you are as strong as possible, because you don't want to be at the top and then crumble over. That's what people struggle with, and I don't like that. Try to be at the top without any foundation. As for the older people, I would take it a lot more serious with your diet, significantly more serious, because your body needs to recover a lot faster. When you're young, you can afford the ability to fall down, the ability to hurt yourself and then get back up. You can do that when you're young, but when you're older, it's far harder. It's far more painful. It's far more difficult. So I would strongly advise you to understand your diet, understand your body, get a blood test, look at your vitamins or with your blood work. Check your blood type as well. I'm A O positive, so I surround my diet around my. Let me just check how much time I have. I check my diet around my blood type as well. Understand your body so you can help yourself recover a lot faster, especially when you're injured. Because when you're old and you're injured, to get back to where you were is far more difficult. If you need help with that as well, email me, DM me. That's pretty much it. Check out the pants. That's how they look like. Send me your measurements as well. That's pretty much it. Get on with your day. Enjoy yourself, please. Achieve great stuff. Change the world. We're gonna change the world, and we'll do it no matter what, even if it costs me everything. All right, guys. Enjoy yourself. Bye bye.